Well, well, well. Hmm. I'm going to play this video right here. So somebody had said earlier today in stream about Theo Vaughn. Hey, Josh. Making a post saying he wasn't suicidal. Really think nothing about it. Just kind of blew it off. I was like, well, hell, Theo Vaughn don't really matter. He's just a. But then I get to thinking about it, and then I see the actual post that they were talking about, and I probably shouldn't have blew it off. I probably should have watched it, but I mean, sometimes things ain't what they seem to be, right? And why would he say? Let me start this back to the beginning.
Claire, I would never take my own life. I have no suicidal thoughts. Well,
What's up, Big
Marjorie
Shy
Ann
Redneck?
Green, she feels the need, as she did a couple of days ago, to publicly clarify that she is not suicidal. She wrote, I am not suicidal, and I'm one of the happiest and healthiest people that you will meet. I have full faith in God, and Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. As a sinner, I am only saved through his grace and mercy. With that said, if something happens to me, I ask you all to find out which foreign government or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out. Not only about this issue, but because of the truth that I have been speaking, the people understand.
This is crazy, right? When you really think about it, what they're saying is this fucking BB dude. Now, I've been watching clips, and I'm sure y'all have too, where you see this dude saying that America is easily manipulated. Yep, Joy, you dead on it. And I'm ashamed to say it. I never paid attention to this type of shit before. I just kind of blew it off like it wasn't no big deal. But I'm telling you right now, it's a very big deal. And the less people that pay attention now will be caught with their pants down later. So if people are telling you about it now and you're not paying no attention to it, do not blame nobody but yourself, because this is serious shit. Just like, and I hate to say it, but I'm wondering if they do this shit with these kids and get them to act like they just did with Charlie. Um, Oh yeah, they see, and I didn't know that Israel had attacked our fellows, man. I didn't realize that. Did anybody else know? I didn't until I just happened to stumble across the video. Now you can't tell me our allies attacked our Navy ship and just shot them boys down, was trying to sink them where nobody, and wouldn't let them call for help or nothing for no reason at all. And then after they did it, our government covered it up for them. Now, how in the fuck does that make sense?
Understand what I am saying. Yes, we are the people, and we understand what you are saying.
I would never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel?
Oh.
I would never take my own life.
So for those of you who didn't understand what was being said right there is they have done contacted him to try to promote some kind of shit for him. That's why he's saying that. And he probably said no. That's crazy, ain't it, Deb? I've dropped that link for anybody that wants to come up. You're more than welcome to. If you want to add anything to it.
I'm grateful to God for his grace in my life. I love my siblings.
Listen, here's the problem with Candace, right? Is a lot of people see her as crazy, as nuts, but she's not. I'm afraid she's fucking not. She's saying shit that's kind of wild, but you have to put yourself in her position to understand why she's saying what she's saying. And look, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on any kind of fucking politics. I'll tell you right now, that's not my field. You want to talk about fishing? I got you. This shit here, I'm just catching up, and it's kind of mind blowing.
I have so many friends and people that love me and people that I want to see their children grow up. I'm hopeful that I get to have a wife and meet my own children one day. Like there's a ton of things in my life that keep me
Mm.
alive and hopeful, right? I want to be able to have an impact in the world. Um, those are just a few of them probably, I mean, so many just moments we've shared on this show that I'm like, oh, I live for those things.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but we do all have to say it. If you have influence and you're speaking out against Israel, you do have to kind of make that statement. And so I join him in chorus and saying, I love my life. I love my children. I love my husband. My life is fantastic. I love all of you guys. You're such a blessing. And I would never take my own life. I have no suicidal thoughts. Not since I was like 18 and an angsty teenager breaking up with a boyfriend that I thought I was going to be with forever. And I also wake up every day feeling encouraged because there are good people that are now naturally rising. And I know that what that means is they have to artificially knock us out of the free markets. The ADL, after this episode, is going to do what they do and use their powerful influence to call YouTube. Like, last year, what happened to me. And I'm prepared for that battle because I know that we cannot let our children inherit this world. We cannot allow our children to inherit a satanic a satanic organization that is happening across all of our countries simply because we were cowards. That can't be the thing. So I love Theo Von. He's great. I love that he has found so much success. He cracks me up. He really does. He's so funny and so talented. And we need him. Everybody that's in this fight that has a platform. I would never.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, let that sink in for a minute, man. So TikTok was purchased for the sole purpose for Israel to push their agenda. How crazy is that? When you really stop and think about that, how wild is that, man? Now they outlaw China, but gonna give it to Israel to push their fucking shit off on our kids. And TikTok is a very, very happening platform for children and for the young adults of America. It is wild to me to think that they have this kind of pull on people of our politicians. What the fuck is going on? How is it that a place with just 9 million people can make decisions for a country as big as America? It doesn't make any fucking sense. There's got to be more to it that I'm not seeing clearly and other people are not aware of. Yeah, Joy, it is. And it's fucking scary when you really think about it. What's up, Tex? Yeah, I know the older people don't, but that's my point, Joy. That is exactly my point. They're reaching our children and we don't even fucking realize it. And they're putting shit in people's heads. It is InfoWarriors. And that was my main bitch when I said, why in the fuck they got these people up there with dual citizenship? And the money that we send these people are fucking crazy. We're paying for Israel's army. We fund that. Me and you, the working people. I don't know, man. Like I was listening to some shit about the damn Patriot Act and stuff, and we've gave up too much power to be able to do anything. It seems like how the fuck we get it back, I have no idea, but it makes me want to leave this country more and more every day. It really does. Yeah, right. Info warriors, I'll just give them the fucking weapons and write it off. Yeah, and to find out, like, what's up, Cosmic? It is, Josh. It is. And look, don't get me wrong. See, and they use the Holocaust as a way to divert people, right? Because as soon as you go to questioning them, they say something about the Holocaust. They make it where, and it's crazy. So you think we fixing to go to war? Well, didn't we just bomb 3 fucking major places for this dude? And you know what's a shame is you can't even correct these people. There's no way to correct them. They're so far separated from us that there's nothing that we really can do about it. I don't even think voting, because it's on both sides of the fucking aisle, it seems like.
My homeboy
I think we in serious trouble,
would
people.
never take my own life.
Oh, that wasn't even Candace's shit.
This is so good. It's heavy. Don't get me wrong, but check this out. Best set you're ever going to come across. 1/2 inch.
That's what I
impact
told her.
set. And here's the cool thing about it. It goes from 10 all the way up to 24, deep and shallow, and they don't skip numbers. So you always get.
Wow, that's crazy. 800 of them called in. Yeah, there's something got to be happening. There's something going on there. But you know, usually like when around wartime and stuff, out there by Pops is, I see them loading the shit, and I ain't seen nothing, so I don't know. What's up, Deb? How you doing? But it makes sense, you know. Let's see what she's saying today about this shit.
The structure motorized pergola system.
Yeah,
is
Lisa, and it's sad
reinventing the
too.
way homeowners experience the outdoors.
Nobody has a real fucking agenda anymore. They started
Can't wipe that
started
stain away.
out with an agenda, but now it's they get them in compromising positions and shit, and then they threaten exposure and take shit away from them. But see, I don't understand how they could do Trump that way, because he can't serve again. What the fuck can you do to him that ain't been done to him already?
Quite literally, the way that they did this was through the mechanism of gaslighting. That's what he is the father of, public gaslighting, okay? That's what modern psychology is. They moved to instead diagnose people who were being abused, right? They were using their credentials, I'm a this, I'm a that, to make people, maybe the wider public, believe that their gaslighting was actually legitimate. That is what the book, The Assault on Truth, unpacks. It is therefore a must read, because you have to realize how horrific the crimes were that were being committed that they were covering for. So Sigmund Freud was in B'nai B'rith, and the ADL was born out of B'nai B'rith. Why? Well, because
See,
they
a lot
put
of
the
these
organization
terms I don't
together
even
to
understand.
defend a pedophile and a murderer. His name is Leo Frank. Leo Frank was an unbelievably wealthy Jewish factory owner down in Atlanta.
Hey, old Kanye West ain't sounding so fucking crazy now, is he? He ain't sounding so fucking crazy now. Yeah, InfoWars, that's what I'm gathering. And you know, my best friend, well, he didn't like that when I said that shit. He's like, now goddamn it, Will. You're starting to go down that fucking rabbit hole. I was like, what, bro? I say, you don't think it couldn't happen? There's fucking pictures of them all over the internet. I mean, you can't tell me that you run a sex operation and everybody doesn't know how to use it. That just don't make no fucking sense to me. And then they allowed him to do it until somebody finally spoke up. A victim had finally came forward, and then they were forced to do something. But you can't tell me all these powerful people didn't know what was going on. Fuck, they were his clients. The shit just don't add up. I mean, I'm no rocket scientist by fucking far, but I can understand that. I seen some shit on him too, InfoWarriors, today, where they fucking took and froze his bank accounts with $500,000 in there and put him on a no fucking fly list. He was supposed to have had a meeting with Ron DeSantis down here in Florida. He couldn't even board a fucking plane to get there, and he hadn't done anything wrong. Just because he happened to be at the January 6th thing. It is fucked up, man. We are no longer a free country. This is a democracy. This ain't dadgummit. It's a dictatorship. It's not democracy. Or however the fuck you say it. You ain't free anymore. We were more freer in the 80s than what we are now. And we've done gave these people all this power because, you know, we just kind of laid down and said, yeah, hey, we got motherfuckers coming over here blowing us up with airplanes, taking down the World Trade Center. Just do it. Everybody was in a hyper state of paranoia. And we give all these fuckers this power. And then what did they do? Biden and them open the border up to anybody that wants to come the fuck over here. So what was the point of having the Patriot Act then? Can somebody please explain it to me? Am I fucking missing something? The shit don't, it don't fucking add up. See, they want the chaos. They want the turmoil, because if they do, then it scares us into giving up more of our fucking God-given rights. And the more of our rights that we give up, the more control they have over us. And the more that we get our ass up every morning and fucking go to work and hand them all our goddamn money. It is fucking crazy, man. And what's sad is I'm a fucking uneducated redneck from the middle of the woods, and I can clearly see what the fuck is going on. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody in our world. The only people that really want to talk about it are these motherfuckers that's businessmen that are making a profit off of it. Well, we, the people, suffer. It's us that's fucking suffering from this shit, not them. Trust me. They eat steak, lobster, and all that shit every night. We're the motherfuckers that's got to decide between a pack of goddamn hot dogs or a fucking chicken leg. It doesn't make any fucking sense why we let them do it to us. But everybody's so worried about everything else that's going on, except for really what's happening right underneath our fucking noses. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
And this is 1913. It's very relevant. You should know this happened in 1913. And
exactly,
American South. You know what was going on there.
It pisses me the fuck off.
Mary Fagan was a 13-year-old
and nobody has
worked
stand up
at
and
his
say a
pencil
fucking
factory.
thing about it.
She
They
was
just
found
let them do it.
brutally raped.
They just let these motherfuckers do it.
Okay, she's a Catholic girl, by the way. I want to say that. She was a young Catholic girl. And Leo Frank, even
and we're
with
paying for that
all
$45
of his money,
sandwiches.
all of his connections, the best lawyers that money could buy, connections all the way to the Supreme Court, he was so guilty of what happened that despite the fact that he tried to pin it on a poor Black janitor, even in the segregated South, where people were just like, hey, give us any reason and we will go lynch a Black person, the racist segregated South, they still found him guilty, okay? They still found Leo Frank guilty. And so much has been written to try to obscure this still. They are still trying to defend Leo Frank. What happened then is that his buddies over at the Freemasonic Lodge, B'nai B'rith, assembled the ADL to gaslight the public. No, Leo Frank wasn't guilty. Look what happened after. He was lynched for what he did to Mary Fagan. He is actually a victim of anti-Semitism. That's it. He wasn't guilty. I'm sure maybe the black guy did it in 1913 Atlanta, and everyone conspired to instead attack a wealthy factory owner.
Boy,
Like I said,
I
to this
mean,
day,
yeah, I just went to the store too, and a fucking bag of M&Ms was $14 fucking dollars. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, some of these people don't make that an hour. You can make it. Put me on a pot of coffee, will you, babe, please? As Amanda's fixing to bake cookies. Only reason I bought them is they was on sale. They was $3.50. I was like, shit, let me get them. I don't got a sweet tooth. What are we going to do? We're going to bitch about it. We're going to let our voices be heard, Tex. That's what we have to do. We don't have a choice. Because if we sit quietly and just watch all this shit unfold, it's going to get worse. That's what we're going to do. We're going to rally the motherfucking troops. It's time. We don't have to get out and do nothing physical, but we need to rally the fucking people. We have to. If not, within about 4 years from now, you won't be able to afford a pack of fucking hot dogs. I'm telling you, Joy, I understand it completely, sweetheart. I really do. And, you know, we've all watched this economy go to hell. And I'm not blaming Trump for it at all. Because, let's face it, he's not the one that let all these illegals over here and gave them all this fucking money for free. Meth is cheaper than meat. I know, dude. It's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. Sambo, yeah, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. Nobody's gaslighting me. I'm gaslighting myself. There's a difference. Being fed up with shit and just sitting back and just, you know, fuck it. Just go ahead. Just take $500 goddamn dollars out of my check every fucking week. You heard me right. $500 fucking dollars, 530 something fucking dollars out of my check every week goes to the government. That's more than most people fucking make. That is crazy to me. Somebody, let me ask you something. Did you know that Israel attacked a sailing ship and it was just swept under the fucking week? Under the rug? Now, somebody's entitled to his. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but you have to actually be open to, to the information that's put out. You're right. You can't believe everything that's said. But why in the fuck are we funding that place over there? Can somebody give me an honest answer? Why in the fuck we're funding Israel and doing their bidding? Because that's what we're doing. They're sitting there playing clips and showing you this fucking BB dude saying shit. And then damn if our president ain't coming right behind it and doing exactly what the fuck they wanted him to do. Bro, they've already got us divided. And it's crazy, Lisa. We need to fucking speak up against this damn dual citizenship being in any politicians, period. That's the first thing that's got to go in this country. Is anybody with a dual citizenship cannot serve the public, period. And they damn sure can't vote on fucking sending the country that they hold a dual citizenship to money. What you doing, kiddo?
Nothing, just got off work.
Heck yeah. How's your truck driving?
Good.
All right, good. Yeah, I understand Israel's the Holy Land. Well, God can help them. In what region? Then people don't service the purpose. What do they in Israel? Honestly, what do we need Israel for? When they was saying, I love you too, baby. Be safe, okay? What'd you do? Come steal some sugar? Oh, okay. All right. Look into UK politicians to see what's coming your way. Scotland don't have, yeah. That's, and it can't be that way. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything's wrong with the Jewish people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what do we benefit from being partners with Israel? Exactly, Emu. Exactly. And see, here's the thing. When they start taking our young men and sending them off to slaughter their fucking fights, I'm not okay with that. We get olive oil there. I don't think we get anything there. Oh, Smasher. It does. It does. And America First is why we fucking voted for him. He was all gassed up and ready to go. But you know what I noticed about Trump? He repeats the same thing over and over again. Over and over again. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but god dang. He's got interest over there. See, they want to make a fucking golf course and some other shit for the fucking Arabs and whatever else and get some of that oil tycoon money, you know, because they'll travel over there, but they ain't coming over this way. That's what that's about. It's about his business ventures over there. And I'm going to tell you, that's something else that needs to stop too. All that fucking inside trading and shit like that. It's not right. How in the fuck you go into politics, don't have $20,000 in the bank, by the time you're done, you're a fucking millionaire. You know, I've had everything stripped away from me 3 times. 3 fucking times. For shit that I had no control over. Just like with the housing market. I was just fixing to turn the corner and be set for life. And that shit happened. And dude, let me tell you, I had friends killed themselves because they lost everything that they fucking owned because they were financing shit. Families that they lost their fucking people's land. Some of the land around me has been in their family since the fucking cowboy and Indian days. Yeah, nobody that's in our government should be of any. And I know people are going to say that's racist, Will. I don't give a fuck what it sounds like, but people don't need to be in our government that's not an American. Yeah, no shit, man, no shit. And you know what, Sooner history, I'm telling you, ain't that funny how they fucking made Kanye out to be some crazy ass shit? And damn if he wasn't just speaking the fucking facts. He just seen what we're seeing now then. But most of those guys that are fucking geniuses like that do see shit way ahead of us. I'm telling you right now, Unc is going to board a sailboat and get the fuck out of here. I'm fixing to make Mama file for my passport Monday. Y'all see Unc is going to be on a fucking boat. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I hate it, man. I fucking hate it here anymore. I don't wish it no bad will, but my grandfathers and them didn't fight and give up their life for this shit. We need Low Emo and Doug to help save our country. Nah, I ain't gonna head to Europe. Crosshatch, I ain't gonna do that. I mean, I don't know. I might fucking swing by over there or something, get me a cup of coffee and get the fuck out of there. I don't know. It's crazy, man. I feel compelled to fucking bitch about it though, you know, and everybody needs to bitch about it. These people need to hear our voices, because I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to take it from us. They are going to fucking take it from us. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Anybody that's saying the shit that I'm saying, not saying that they're going to fucking shut me down, because I'm a nobody, but anybody with a platform that's even kind of saying what I'm saying right now, you better bet your ass that they're shadow banning them. Johnny has used not one sick day this year. Yeah, bro. Fucking facts.
They are using those mechanisms to try to gaslight us and to pretend that Leo Frank was really the victim in this tragedy. It's utterly demented. I will never let it stand. He killed Mary Fagan. He is still guilty of that crime, no matter how much the
InfoWars. When I seen that bag of M&Ms for $14-something, I was like, holy fuck, man.
ADL tries to obscure that. And by the way, if you want to learn more, you should learn more about Mary Fagan's murder. I can point you guys, there's a book called The Murder of Little Mary Fagan, and it is written by a relative of hers. And that relative's name is also Mary Fagan. You should read the details.
Any person that works 40 hours a week should be able to eat a meal for every fucking time of the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and not have to worry about if they got gas in a fucking car to go to work the next day. That shit that is not getting it. I know, InfoWars. I know. When I seen that, I was like, what the fuck is, so you're taking my coffee from me too? Cocaine, man. I'm gonna have to start doing cocaine. Cocaine is cheaper.
Of what happened 100 years ago. You should read the facts around it, read the case documents, learn about the brutal rape and the murder and what happened thereafter, because so much has been written since to try to obscure those facts. So go to the family member as a source. Do that in your own spare time. In fact, maybe I should add it to the book club list. Anyways, the reason why I'm telling you that is because there is it really is a very crucial element of our history that we need to come to terms with.
You
right?
ain't fucking
the
kidding.
modern media machine, all of these journalists who lie and gaslight, you're seeing
Text, if them motherfuckers don't call me back, I'm coming to get your ass. Because I'm calling them and cussing them the fuck out in the morning. And I'm going to tell them, everybody that was on my YouTube channel tonight is 100% behind me.
it right now, what they're writing about me, it's insane. They are students of effectively the psychoanalytic community. Let's gaslight and then we will diagnose. Gaslight and diagnose. Seeing it happen in real time pertaining to the Charlie Kirk case. We watched him be murdered, and then we watched the feds.
Lisa, that's New Zealand that you're talking about?
Lied to us rather fanatically. The text messages, I think, were really the what is going on. And now they're yelling at us for noticing.
I don't get on the phone.
We are all being abused right now by the press, right? They're trying to spin it.
I hate that.
No, I can't
telephone.
believe people have questions. The conspiracies are so
bad. If I didn't have to have a phone for work, I wouldn't have even had that mother. I hate a goddamn telephone.
bad. These text messages were totally legit. Anybody who wants to investigate it further.
Okay, so my coworker recently
Man,
hosted
Joy,
a couple
I'm
of
sorry to hear
overnight
that,
guests,
baby.
and she's the type who likes to
I'm
go
sorry to
all
hear
out
that.
and leave a little welcome surprise for them in the guest room. Now,
Crazy. Oh, just totally crazy. We're all clinically insane. We should probably consult a physician. How
Mm.
dare we? It's inappropriate. Candace, they always say this, she must be suffering from postpartum psychosis. Okay, whatever you want to call the thing is that I'm suffering from when you watch your friend catch a bullet in the neck, you can call it that. Diagnose it if you need to. Anyways, you guys, the time has come for us to wake up.
That lady
Now, it
is
should
fucking
unnerve
pretty,
you with
man.
that little bit of history that despite their well-documented
Great
founding,
point.
the ADL is so powerful of an organization that they have been directing the FBI for years. Okay. They label people who tell the truth extremists. They put them on a list. I think it effectively works as a hit list. And then they direct and work with the FBI in partnership to go after those extremists.
And they did.
Okay. That is a very weird relationship.
Yeah, old boy that you was talking about in chat just a minute ago. I seen where he was literally saying that he had committed no crime whatsoever, but just because he was there and he's got a decent sized platform. And now imagine having $500,000 one morning and you wake up and you go to fucking pay a bill and you can't pay it because your bank account's froze and you haven't done anything. And like he said, they could drag that shit on forever. Not a damn thing he could do about it.
A strange relationship, an immoral
Is
relationship.
she out
and a
there,
corrupt
Tex, or are we
relationship.
just
Now,
not paying
I
attention?
want you to know that I learned that recently, last year, that both the left and the right work with the ADL. Okay, there was this lie that's told publicly. I believed it, that it's just the left. It's all
Very
left leaning.
educated,
No.
for sure.
They work with both the left and the right. The neocons on the right side work arm in arm with the ADL and feed them names, primarily of anyone, I should say, who is an enemy to the state of Israel.
Let's call this guy.
So currently, you have Trump people who I guess are trying to save face for their remarkable lack of curiosity as it pertains to who assassinated Charlie Kirk, who loved them and worked did whatever he could.
I'll piss and
to
call
support
White
the
House and
administration.
bitch
They're
about
trying to
coffee. You
save
ready?
face,
I'm gonna tell him.
pretend
True Text
they're
told me,
upset,
give me
you know,
this
like,
number. Told me
we're
I
gonna
could call
do
you
something.
motherfuckers.
It's not
What the
okay
fuck
that this
going on with
happens.
price of coffee?
Look over here, right? Oh, look over here.
Here,
The
take
ADL
this.
put
Hey,
Charlie
I'm-
Kirk on a
I'm-
list. Now that he's dead, we demand post-justice. And Kash Patel's doing that. He's acting right now. He's pretending that he's delivering some form of justice.
Put it in
I think
styrofoam.
Elon Musk tweeted about Charlie Kirk and TPUSA being on the list, and then it kind of caught fire, and this became the new conservative talking point.
Yeah.
The ADL must pay for that. And
Smasher, a smart man would get into doing shit for the military for sure. If you could get a government contract.
And sure enough, the FBI director, Kash Patel, announced yesterday that this is over. Yes, the ADL was training FBI agents and sharing intelligence in partnership with the FBI. The FBI and the ADL had a partnership sharing intel. They were training
Yeah,
agents.
because if
and
they
he
don't
says,
use it,
"No more."
they lose
Okay,
it.
he wrote
I get
this
that.
in a tweet. James Comey wrote love letters to the ADL and embedded FBI agents with them. a
Joy, it
group
wouldn't be that
ran
hard to go totally
disgraceful
off the
ops
grill.
spying on Americans.
What's
That
up, going
era
crazy?
is over. The FBI won't partner with political fronts masquerading as watchdogs. Now, if you're on the right, you're supposed to go, yay, justice served. If you're on the left, you're maybe going to be happy that the ADL responded very graciously to this. They issued a statement immediately. They said, as we prepare to observe the
I'm gonna
holiest
hold
day
you
of the
to
year
that
on the Jewish
text. I'm
calendar,
calling her motherfucking
just
ass
like I guess
Monday
they're victims
on
somehow.
live.
We have seen the statement from the FBI Director Patel regarding the FBI's relationship. ADL has deep respect for the Federal Bureau of Investigation and law enforcement officers at all levels across the country who work tirelessly every single day to protect all Americans, regardless of their ancestry, religion, ethnicity, faith, political affiliation, or any other point of difference. In light of an unprecedented surge of anti-Semitism, we remain more committed than ever to our core purpose to protect the Jewish people. You should know that all of that you just heard, okay, is BS, okay? It's slave slop. We are the slaves. and they are serving us slop right now.
Mm.
The illusion that things are changing, the
Ain't that
illusion that it's
funny
left
she
versus
says
right,
that?
or that it's Jewish Americans versus everybody
Ain't that funny? And she says that as I just said that we're fucking slaves to these people, and for nothing in fucking return.
else. Hey, Jewish Americans, if you're watching this, you want to wake up. The ADL is not your friend at all. They don't care about what happens to you. If you need more proof, you should know that they
You gotta be 3 miles out, crosshatch. That's international waters. But you still fall underneath the jurisdiction of the United States.
seriously removed the
Bunch
Azov
of bullshit.
battalion. They're
What's up,
carving
hillbilly?
swastikas on their head. The Ukrainians murdering people. They removed them from the hate list. Candace Owens is on there, though. I'm sure you guys go to bed and you're worried about Candace Owens and not the people that are carving freaking swastikas on their head and murdering people. Okay? They don't care. That's all. This is all just slop. Left versus right illusion, whatever it is. But the more important question that I want to get to is why now? Why are they putting on this performative bit right now? Well, yesterday, I made an offhand remark about the ADL and the FBI sharing an office in Connecticut. Now, I know this because I'm from Connecticut, so there's no way to try to obscure that fact. Back in 2023, actually, a Catholic
And that's
investigator
exactly
revealed-
what the fuck we need to do too. Going crazy is we need to come together. We need to speak up, speak out. Everybody should be preaching that shit on their YouTube channels, their fucking Instagrams, their Twitter accounts, whatever. We don't need anybody with dual citizenship in the fucking White House or in any of the Senate. None of that shit.
this and shared it. He addressed it in a series of
In a
tweets.
handbasket,
Kyle
girl.
Undercover wrote, I gathered property records for the 19 different states that the ADL has a regional office established. The report reveals that in the state of Connecticut, the ADL shares an office space with the FBI. They also share an office space with the
Exactly,
United
Louie,
Nations
man.
in New York. Now, same building, across the hall, whatever. That's a fact, and it makes sense. You shouldn't be that shocked when they're owning the fact that they share information. It's easier to share information if you're sharing an office space, right? Anyways, he goes on and he writes, after reviewing the 19
How crazy, if you really sit back and think about that shit, how crazy is it that they pushed that shit the way they did? They forced people to take fucking gene mutiny jabs, we just call it. Shit that fucks with your DNA.
ADL offices, we can see an alarming trend. 63% of the ADL's regional offices are located within various banking institutions. 42% are located within various law firms, ranging from immigration to criminal law. You should keep that in mind for what we're going to talk about later.
It
on the
is
show.
not, Nickel G.
And
It is
10%
not.
are located in Jewish institutions. So you get the point. Why am I telling you this? Because after I made that offhand remark yesterday, I received a rather stunning tip, which I have been able to corroborate.
I am
The
absolutely
whole
obsessed with what's
world,
inside this
Lisa,
box.
the whole fucking world just
literally-
jumped on board and started shaming people for not taking the shit. And I'm gonna tell you what threw me with that shit is they wouldn't take no responsibility if it fucked you up. I was like, nah.
All of the FBI boroughs in the United States, regarding which there are 55 main boroughs and over 350 satellite boroughs, the FBI sent the specific Connecticut borough down to UVU after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. To investigate the assassination, okay, let's just look at that map again. They decided to go upwards on the East Coast and to send the field office from that borough to UVU. I'm wondering why they did that. I'd like an answer. We're probably not going to get it. We're not getting answers on anything. I wonder what moved them to send that particular borough, okay, down to UVU. It just feels like you got a lot around you, a lot of options. It wasn't exactly
Oh, it was definitely a
like
fucking
necessary
test.
for you to do that. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and yeah, that person provided proof. They said we are 1,000% certain. I said I'm going to need to see proof. Unbelievable.
At this time, I had no idea going crazy. I had to look at it and see what the bottom line was. I'm sure he made millions off of it, though.
Probably. I'd like to know why they did that, right? I'd like to know why suddenly now Kash Patel is making a strong statement against the ADL. All of that just feels a little too close to comfort. And by the way, how do you separate? When you're just across the hall, let's just think that you guys are not speaking to each other anymore. Are we supposed to be this dumb?
Anybody lose a sheep?
Completely ridiculous.
sheep herders
Completely
here.
ridiculous. Wanted to share that. Okay. Anyways, jumping back into more oddities that occurred on that day, despite having these federal agents from Connecticut. Now, I have presented to you just thus far, right, that a lot of these witnesses immediately spoke out to
What's up, Charlie?
say, here's what happened. Here's how many shots. Here's what I heard. That they had strange connections to the government or like weren't from UVU at all, were coming from overseas. Didn't really make sense. I was trying to understand that. And
Yeah,
yesterday, of
Joy,
course, we
that
were
to
trying
me
to figure out who was this
that was a
mysterious
no-
woman that was allegedly.
That was a no-go. That was a no fucking go. You're going to mandatory make people take that fucking shot. And then if something happens to them, you're not going to take. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And look how many people just fell the fuck out from it, changed their heart rhythm, people with heart problems and all kinds of shit.
helping the shooter change clothes. I got that one tip from an individual, completely unrelated, said, yes, there was footage of a person helping the shooter change clothes. And then suddenly we were able to discern at the very least that someone in the Broderick Lyman family certainly acknowledges that there was a woman at the very least who she suspected could have been an accomplice. She didn't say anything about the person
Yeah,
changing
going crazy.
clothes.
That
We can
shit's got
watch
me
that
pissed
clip
off.
again to hear what she says.
If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer.
Exactly, Lil Emo.
So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
Okay. So we received a couple of tips pertaining to who that woman might have been, according to rumor circulating around Orem. Now, I want to be very clear. When we say that this is a rumor, I mean that you should take this information with a grain of salt. We cannot present it at face value because we don't have the footage, right? I cannot say this is a fact. I can say that this lead became more interesting to me and that the FBI should clarify things. It's that simple. Let us see all the footage. But they don't seem even remotely interested in trying.
You know what, InfoWars? Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm about willing to bet, just like any one of us that, we've all had this happen to us. We talk about something or we discuss something with somebody. Then when we pick up our phone, the next ad that pops up on the screen is what we was talking about. And they're trying to sell it to us. So I'm wondering if they can't very well push their agenda on people that are watching that shit and drive them mad with it, where they act up and do shit like that boy did or supposedly did. I don't think he's ever really openly admitted to taking the shot, even though there's a few people on here that swear up and down it's just a closed fucking case.
Trying to help us clarify anything. Anyways, the name
I think it's
that
beautiful.
we had received was, it turned out, somebody that actually provided
I'm not
the
into black
only
women, but
eyewitness
I think
testimony
Candace-
of having seen the shooter up close, limping. So it's possible, just to run the other side of things, that this woman captured both of them walking back to back and she just was walking near him and she had nothing to do with helping him change. That's all possible, and you should consider that possibility. We don't have answers. But there's something else that's interesting
That's
about her.
going
Like I
crazy.
said, the testimony that she provided is interesting, and she is the only
Didn't
person
they have a
the shooter limping up close.
Now, I
And
might
her-
be speaking out of turn here, but somebody might be able to answer this for me. Didn't they have a GoFundMe for him, like a fundraiser for Charlie too, at the same time? And I mean, the man was a fucking multi-millionaire. What the fuck you need to raise more money for? That was kind of crazy.
Her name, and we know this because she spoke to the news, they all did, is Olivia Robertson Cobb Bishop. Let's listen to her testimony now.
I kind of realized the type of street I was on, a little bit more secluded, you know.
Olivia Bishop retraces her steps where she came face to face with Charlie Kirk's alleged killer.
Just looking over, seeing that he was limping, kind of being like, oh, okay. And then long black shirt, kind of thinking that's kind of weird. It's kind of super hot outside.
Bishop says something's a little off.
I did look over at him and he was kind of like that was his face, just kind of like not a smile or anything.
From the expressionless demeanor, long sleeve shirt during a hot summer day, to the limp.
It's kind of odd. I don't know. Like now that I think about it, it's just very like chilling to me.
Chilling after reading charging documents online and seeing this video of Robinson walking away from UVU after Kirk was shot. That's when she realized she'd been only feet away from the accused killer. Now she questions whether she could have done more.
Had I seen the imprint of
And I'm gonna tell you right now, that was not a
backpack.
That was a fucking gym bag. That was a all-on fucking big-ass gym bag.
Then immediately after that happened, would I have thought back to him, you know, and been able to like alert authorities quicker.
Bishop realizes there's nothing she could have done differently.
But just to have been like an eyewitness to him on his way there is just shocking to me.
I got to say, when I saw that, I was actually kind of giddy because I was like, finally, it looks like a college student from UVU who is speaking to the news. That's great. And of course, I then had to wonder what she...
Whoa, man. Carl, go on somewhere. You ain't got to hit me up on Instagram, you crazy fucking nut.
An amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
I made my first million.
what she was studying. And it turns out, no, she doesn't go to UVU. I don't know. A lot of these people were not available that day. But what she does for a living is quite interesting because there's an emerging pattern. And for whatever reason, nobody who spoke to the press said what their connections were. It turns out
the same thing too. 30-06 is awful fucking powerful. Awful fucking powerful. Victim playing all call. There you go, Carl.
out that
That's what
she
you want.
works for the Orem Police Department. She's a record specialist. And I should tell you guys, kind of unbelievably, in August, you're going to believe this, they kind of lost a lot of people that were working at the department. There's a Facebook post.
Yeah, Julie,
people that were retiring, a lot
much.
of changes that were happening. I don't know when she started working there, but she works at the Orem Police Department, and we're hearing a lot of stuff about some plausible corruption that might be going on there. And I just said, wow, okay. Curiously, she also
how far
purports to be
HK, answer me this. How far was the shot that was taken on MLK? Just out of curiosity.
Be a close witness to when Charlie got shot. And I'm wondering, if you work for the Orem Police Department, what were you doing going to a Charlie Kirk event in the middle of the day? Like, assuming that's a full-time job, Charlie spoke on a Wednesday. What were you doing there at all, actually? Is this like the longest lunch break ever? Meeting up with some friends, she says. Meeting up with some friends, okay. Another thing that we were able to learn is that she met up with her husband. Like, how are all of these people just allowed to leave work to hear Charlie Kirk speak? I'm interested.
No
so
shit.
I reach out, obviously, today,
Well, I'm
called the
gonna
records
Google it,
office.
because you got me curious.
Sent her a text. We were able to find her number. She doesn't want to speak about anything. She says that was it. She just wanted to speak right there, give her testimony, and that she gave the appropriate information to the appropriate authorities. So that there, beyond that, is just going to be a dead end. But I'd like to take a broader look at our witness tree, because it's growing, right? It's growing, our witness tree. We've got Tiffany Barker, of course. She's with her sister was Phil Lyman's running mate. She spoke to Good Morning America in the wee hours of the morning after. Phil Lyman, of course, our guy, he really does not like me at all. He wants me to know that he thinks I'm shady, that I'm an accomplice to something. He ran for
This is
Utah
what it
governor in 2020.
HK, this is what it says. The shooter, James Earl Ray, was positioned in a rooming house across the street from Lorraine Motel, from which he fired the shot that killed Martin Luther King Jr. The exact distance is not specified, but it was a short distance across the street from the motel's second floor balcony. You would think that they would have a record of how far it was.
He's featured George Zinn on his website at that time, spoke to
Josh, they've been, you're absolutely right. And I played a video from Algeria, the channel Algeria, about the Liberty Navy vessel that was shot to shit. And they covered it up.
Alex Jones, Fox News, News Nation, really.
So much so that they fucking assigned the widows of the men that was killed on the ship personnel to be around her so they couldn't talk to the fucking media.
Anybody that would have him. Now we have Olivia Bishop. She works for the Orem Police Records Specialist. And yeah, she works as the
I
Orem
wouldn't be
Police Records
surprised,
Specialist.
Lisa. I
and she
really
spoke,
wouldn't.
To local news. Who else do we have here? Well, let me show you this other video, which gets interesting, okay? Check out this USA Today video of people speaking about what they heard and what they saw. Take a listen.
Your fanny pack called. It wants a divorce.
Carl, there's your fanny pack.
And custody of your dignity. You need the new.
Hey, Crazy Carl, question for you. You said last night that you just wanted me to go away, right? Well, that's what I asked you to do in the very beginning. So until I'm done, I'm not going anywhere. But why in the fuck are you sending me messages on Instagram if I'm doing all this brain damage to you? I mean, make that make sense, Mr. Victim. You like the attention, Carl. You're an attention-seeking whore, is what you are. I don't think you're crazy. I think you play fucking crazy when it benefits you. Your old lady is fucking your best friend, bro. You probably ought to stop that or figure out what's going on there. Just saying.
It sounds like lightning. It was so loud. I thought the shooter was right there in the crowd, and apparently he wasn't. Apparently he was far off. Everybody got down, and I instantly just started praying for Charlie Kirk. And the girl I was next to, she was bawling because she had seen it. She had seen the graphic imagery of the bullet piercing his neck and opening his neck up, and I can't imagine what it was like to see that.
I actually was just walking up. I was going to the event with a friend, and so I was in the back of the crowd still walking to get closer when I heard the pop of a gunshot and people started screaming and running. So I took a knee, just out of habit from being in the Marine Corps, and people were still screaming and running, and I just decided to look for the shooter wherever they might be. But people just kept clearing out.
Basically, I just heard a shot, and I saw him falling towards the left, so I knew he got shot on the collarbone or the neck right here, but I didn't see bleed immediately. I just saw and I heard, and we all crouched down, and I wish there was a better security. I was a little surprised when I walked into the courtyard and there wasn't any metal detector. There were securities around the building, but it wasn't really solid.
Okay, so to show you who those individuals are, a lot of software engineers, we can pull back up Emmanuel Furier. You saw his name there again. We're pulling people that spoke to the press publicly. We're not revealing any information here, but he works for Domo Incorporated.
As I will,
his history is that he is a software engineer, a technical advisor. His name is German in origin. I'd like to know a little bit more. Also, when I look up these people, by the way, none of them have reached out to me. Like from the minute that this all happened, I asked for information. And for whatever reason, these people were very anxious to speak to the press right after, but then we're like, you know what? We're not gonna speak to anybody else about that. Same for Gurneau owner. We covered this. He was with Phil Lyman's nephew cousin. We learned was a software engineer from Austria. So Austria, Germany. Okay. featured in Shaner's Instagram. And that guy, Scott Robbins, that you saw looking like a college kid, well, he was also a gubernatorial candidate. He ran for governor of Utah in 2024. Nobody mentioned this. I guess all of these USA Today or AP, nobody asked them like who they were, if they were college students. And for whatever reason, everybody that they spoke to wasn't that.
Well, it depends, Joy. I mean, the dude could have packed a lighter round. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but you would think that a 30-06 hitting somebody in the
We will
neck
continue to grow this witness tree.
would have went all the way through. I mean, your neck's not very thick. You know what I'm saying?
Robbie Hild, we've put a TBD on because we're getting crazy information on him. We're calling him Mr. Worldwide over here. Okay, we've got Robbie Hild in the Cayman Islands. We've got Robbie Hild in Spain. We've got Robbie Hild all over. And so that's going to take some time. We need to be more thorough in that.
Yeah,
and,
140
we will
yards.
have more on Robbie Hild on Monday. Anyways, guys, this is a good time to take a pause and reach
It's a
out to our
football
sponsors.
field
You guys know,
end to
love
end
Riverbend
now,
Ranch.
not
There's
counting the touchdown area. From end to end is 140 yards because your touchdown zones are 20 yards. But I mean, that is a little distance, but you would think that it would still have enough power to go through a human neck. I mean, hell, we all seen where it hit. It wasn't quite the fucking spine.
steaks are phenomenal. They really are just phenomenal. Black Angus beef that they have is literally famous for its great flavor. The Riverbend
This bitch
Ranch
trying
has
to
taken
sell
Black Angus beef to a
steak.
whole different level because over the last 35 years, Riverbend Ranch has been creating an elite.
Bitch, we don't have no money for no fucking steaks. We's poor motherfuckers over here. The fuck this lady doing?
There is a new AI web browser from Perplexity that is called Comet. That is
We don't-
/Candace.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right down to your exact address in just seconds. Imagine pulling up your neighborhood, spotting your roof, your street, even the landmark.
Charlie, I wondered about that too, right? But he could have cut the bullet. I know a lot of people don't know what that is, but he could have. I'm eating cheap bloody beef jerky, right? But he could have fucking took a knife or something because he was already carving on shit. There's no telling, but the bullet could have came apart as it came out the gun if he would have cut. I don't know if you ever seen anybody do that, but
Okay, so it's looking like an operation, right? We are right now living through the JFK assassination. We weren't there for that. The majority of us weren't there for that. I wasn't there for that. But we wondered. We knew we were still being lied to about that assassination. And I just wondered, like AJ did, Allowed yesterday, did all of the homies of JFK just try to cover it up? I think the answer might be yes. I think he was surrounded. I think he was infiltrated. And then they got rid of him because of wrongthink. He had the wrong ideas that perhaps maybe every foreign nation should register under FARA. Anyways, how this works is that then you have to kind of put together like a Warren Commission, right? JFK, the Warren Commission, a complete and utter farce to pretend like the government's taking it seriously and investigating. Well, if Tyler Robbins...
yeah, going crazy. But if you say that, people will look at you crazy. Well, it happened right there on camera. You could see it. Nah. I don't know. I know the man's gone. That I do know. I'm not going to act like I know who killed him and what and all the circumstances. But either way, social media played a big ass part in it. Just like you said a second ago. Gaslight motherfuckers. And I'm wondering if that kid wasn't targeted. I wonder if there's a way to tell what he had been seeing and what he hadn't been seeing. What's up, Slayback?
Robinson's going to be our patsy. And I do want to be clear here. I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson is guilty of nothing. Right? It's his gun. There's weird stuff going on there. I don't believe he pulled the trigger. But if they're going to make that stick, then you got to have a lawyer that's working for the prosecution, right? Well, that's what's going on. recently Elizabeth Lane went on the Redacted podcast, and she discussed how the prosecutor is picking his opponent in the Tyler Robinson case. Take a listen to her.
And see, and with anything like that, that's why I kind of am suspicious of that dude over there. Because for one, he's made a couple videos claiming that he didn't do it. And for two, it's so important to try to control people with a big social media platform that if they start to turn, they're going to take their audience with them. And they can't have that. Do you have
explain that?
Investigative journalist Elizabeth Lane is not giving up on this story. She's been on the ground in Utah connecting the CIA dots, the three-letter agency dots and connections, and she joins us now. Elizabeth, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Clayton. I looked at Tyler Robinson's case and I thought, well, why don't I get this guy a lawyer? Because that at least puts me near him so I can understand and control the process. And this is times where they couldn't find the guy a lawyer and they were kind of scrambling around to figure out who was going to be his lawyer. And I started approaching different firms in Utah, trying to get him a lawyer for pro bono. So I walked up to one of the most reputable firms in Utah and I asked them if they were willing to represent Tyler Robinson for pro bono case.
I'm just seeing the drop in the back.
Extremely surprised what I got from them. First and foremost, they were like, yes, we're absolutely on this because we don't believe that what happened to Charlie Kirk was remotely a case of just a single, crazy kid going up and shooting the guy in the neck. Like, we don't believe that. So we are more than willing to represent him pro bono. So I was like, great. So we started the process. And what happened is we realized that we needed lawyers who are actually certified with death penalty. So their certifications didn't live up to that. But there's another interesting thing. When I did find a lawyer that was certified to represent Tyler Robinson, obviously I needed a consent from Robinson's family or Robinson himself, because he's actually not a minor. He can consent himself. Ironically, we were unable to get in touch with the parents because as a lawyer, you can't solicit clients. So it's illegal. So you can't just announce yourself that I'm going to represent Tyler Robinson. So I started doing that. So I got into this process and I asked my local lawyer firm, hey, what's the best way to go around here? Like, we need help to get the lawyer from New York who is
appreciate you hanging out, Joy.
To get on the case. So he said, whatever you do, Elizabeth, do not get in touch with the firms in Utah that are the most powerful because they are in on it with the state. No matter what happens, they will take the side of the state. I did not listen to him. And I ended up calling one of the biggest firms in Utah just to ask for an advice. Like, what is the situation here? What can we do? They started screaming on the phone. And I was like, why do you even care? Like, you don't have a dog in this fight. Why are you so rude on the phone? So then I said, listen, there is a lawyer who's qualified and he's actually very famous in New York, wants to represent this kid. All I need is a consent from Tyler Robinson to do so. And we think that you can help. To this, I got a very rude response that only SCORDIS is allowed to find a representation for Tyler Robinson. So SCORDIS is a guy who's running as a state prosecutor. So here's the problem with that. State prosecutor cannot be responsible to find a lawyer for a defendant. That's illegal. So
right, that they're choosing their own opponent.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And this is something that I've been wondering about because it seems like an open and shut case for any defense attorney because the government has presented such a crap case unless his attorney is a shill.
Yes. So what I know is that SCORDIS is running as a state prosecutor. He's running. Everyone can look it up. It's on his website. So it's not quite illegal for him to find a lawyer for Tyler. It would be illegal if he was a state prosecutor. But what it is, though, is highly unethical.
That's fucking crazy.
Get 30 protein sticks for just $36.
That's crazy.
That's only $1.20 each. Here are 3 reasons why you.
What Lee Harvey Oswald say?
That clip is
I'm just a patsy. I'm just a patsy. And what happened? Before he could get a chance to speak to anybody, they fucking took him out.
I've learned a lot.
Why did Jack Ruby shoot him? I still don't understand that.
over the last couple of years. And what I can tell you is that this gang that's running everything, okay, they also are controlling the courts. That's how you get a prosecution against somebody that makes no sense. And why do you do that? Because typically you're hiding government's crimes, right? You want people to stop looking. You want people to stop asking questions. You're not just asking questions. Yeah, no, we are implying here that everything you're telling us about the Tyler Robinson case makes no sense. But these people control the courts. And I got to tell you another thing. I want to be very clear. They even have figured out how to run a kangaroo court system, total kangaroo court system, where judges do not have to follow the law. Okay, Ian Carroll was on my show speaking about this, pertaining to Justin Bieber. It is a fact. Arbitration courts, so they get you to sign a contract and you agree. If you have an issue, go to arbitration court. Most people don't know what that means. It's a private court where the judge does not have to follow the law. They can just say you're guilty. And when you get to that level, there's usually a couple of reasons why they've got these players that work for the government and are willing to lie and cheat and steal. And it is because the government needs a prosecution or you've pissed them off and they need a conviction against you because they're trying to bankrupt you. Okay. The corrupt cases, when you get really close to a truth, the government swoops in to try to bankrupt you. I am living proof of that.
That's crazy.
Never in the history of the world ever has there been a sitting leader of a foreign country that has sued a podcaster or a news member, even a journalist in a foreign country for defamation. Okay. I am the first. It is because we are getting close to a lot of truth when it comes to Brigitte Macron. Okay. And so now what they're doing is they're calling their cronies. Brigitte Macron has hired former federal prosecutors, and she's hiring a firm here. Why? Because the next option is Candace Owens and Shut Up are going to bankrupt her. These are the people that want you to believe they're successful in life organically. No. The entire system is rigged. It's rigged. Okay.
Oh, well, hell, we heard Trump say, you know how I know it's rigged? Shit. I used the motherfucker. Oh, I'm going to play this. That shit was crazy, Slayback. I'm going to play this short for y'all right here.
Very, very weird. Okay. He was.
It's absolutely.
There was a movie in 1998 called Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen this. In the movie, they're at a boxing match. A politician is assassinated in the movie, and his name is Charles Kirkland. Okay, think about Charlie Kirk. This is very, very weird. Okay, he was shot on the left side of his neck. The film takes place on September 10th. Rob, that's the
date of the fight.
This is what we were talking about yesterday. This is what we were talking about yesterday. Rob, that's the poster. And then the boxer who's in on the plan, who's doing a diversion, he wakes up on the ring. His name is Tyler, like Tyler Robinson, and he's called the Executioner. Okay, Jesus. Weird. And then the tropical storm that hits in the film is called Hurricane Jezebel. And for some of you guys that saw Megyn Kelly just did a piece. That's the name of the online magazine that allegedly hired witches in August to put a hex on Charlie. And the film, parts of the film were filmed at the Trump Taj Mahal and Hotel Casino. And the secret camera, which films the assassination, but the videographer doesn't let anyone know. And guess what the tagline is of the movie? Believe everything except your eyes. There was a movie in 1998 called Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage.
All right, let me bring her back up. That shit was crazy as hell right there. When things line up like that, it makes you go, what the fuck?
If you get too close to them and too powerful, usually suddenly a person gets inclined to commit suicide.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Suddenly there's a hostile takeover of their company, or, a random person shoots them, right? If there's any threat against them, it's either you're smeared, you are bankrupted, or you die in rather mysterious circumstances. So watch this, because you're learning the playbook. Everybody's waking up right now. You need to pay attention to this. This is another one of their mechanisms. They control the courts.
How you doing out
and
there,
they will get
Hollywood?
whatever it is they need to get accomplished in the courts, whether it's bankruptcy or a conviction that makes literally no sense, as is going to be the case with Tyler Robinson. They're going to convict him. Right? They found their patsy. They're going to make it work.
Shit.
And they're going to keep
tired of
threatening the
giving
rest
them
of us for
motherfuckers my money,
noticing that nothing makes sense at all. Anyways, further to that point, I had done, and if you have not watched it, you should jump into the Epstein series that we paused because this happened.
Don't work no overtime.
Where we talked about that, the hand of Midas, making these people executives. We're more successful because we're brighter. No, you're more successful because you're more corrupt. You're willing to lie, cheat, steal, and kill, actually, to get whatever it is that you want. And the Jeffrey Epstein story has all of those elements, right? And our government, I think actually it was the day that Charlie was killed, quietly. We're not going to actually release any Epstein files. Wow, how do they maneuver that? Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been very loud about how she is against that. She has grown increasingly vocal, and she feels the need, as she did a couple of days ago, to publicly clarify.
And we're
I need to get fucking YouTube Premium. I swear I do.
She is not suicidal. She wrote, "I am not suicidal, and I'm one of the happiest and healthiest people that
Yeah,
know me.
that's
I have full
crazy.
faith in God and Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. As a sinner, I am only saved."
So what do they know? What the fuck do they know that would get them taken out?
Saved through his grace and mercy. With that said, if something happens to
tell you.
me, I ask you all to
No matter how many people agree or disagree, you can never let these motherfuckers take your guns, because as soon as you do, go look and see what's happened to other countries where they've disarmed the people. That's right. That's what Hitler did.
find out which foreign government or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out. Not only about this issue, but because of the truth that I have been speaking, the people understand what I am saying. Yes, we are the people, and we understand what you are saying. We understand why speech is considered so dangerous, why the ADL creates a list that features people like Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA and Candace Owens. Why speech is so dangerous is because if it carries truth, it speaks to power. And power is not truth. Power at this moment is a lie. It is a carefully woven lie everywhere, rigged against all of us. That is why I say the action that you can take, right? Don't feel hopeless. Understand they're actually panicking right now. What can you do in your household? Well, the first thing you can do is do not put your children in their matrix. Take your kids out of school. These sleeper cells are all across the nation, okay? And we're going to get into this next week. I wanted to make sure that I could get more thorough and show to you the Ukrainian connections that are coming across in this that are very strange, but I guess not so strange when you pay attention to the last shootings, trans shootings that have happened. The Catholic school shooting, the person was scribbling in their notebook recently, the shooter in Cyrillic. What's that about? What's that about? Why do we suddenly have Russian speakers that are involved in these sorts of things? We are looking at a program, and we're going to speak more about that because you have to understand it is dangerous what is happening right now. It's a dangerous game, and we're playing with dangerous people. And if it ever needed to be said, I am certainly not
I
suicidal.
wonder if they're going to fucking look back in time and actually tell us what kind of tests they've been doing with this fucking social media to all of us. I know that sounds crazy, but
I'm angry. I'm angry at people that are homicidal is really what's happening. And enough is enough. And if we are not brave enough to speak out, if we are not brave enough to take that action and to begin something as minor as homeschooling our kids, getting out of their system entirely, then our children are going to inherit a world in which the truly evil people have completely wrapped everything, right? They have wrapped everything and they control everything. It's up to us, guys. And I think we're close. So I'm going to leave that at that. Speak about a couple more sponsors before getting into some of your comments and questions that you have. I should have first let you know, we did open another tips line because we are at max capacity. I want to remind you guys, if you have tips.
Nobody gives a fuck about that thing. And I say that
pertaining
that's
to
just
Robbie
gay.
Hild, anything that we are saying about what took place on Orem on that day. Tips does not include, Candace, have you seen this theory? Watch this TikTok, please, guys. We are trying not to have our inbox cluttered because we want to get to all of these tips. A lot of information. please email. Considered reaching out to my friends in American Financing, but maybe decided against it. We can all feel it spiritually. And I'm telling you, these sleeper cells exist in public schools, private schools. They are there. There is a lot of evil that is happening right now. And I hope that if you guys are watching the show, you understand that I am telling you this. And
see, a lot of us are older.
If it was not, I felt it spiritually. And then this.
A lot of us are older, and we have actually watched the world change right before our very fucking eyes. From a time when we didn't have any kind of cell phones or social media, we wasn't so easily contacted or fucking drove a message to us. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, they told me back then that computers are going to take over the world. I never really imagined it'd be like it is. It's fucking crazy. Most of these kids don't know what it's like to go and walk in the fucking woods and just go exploring somewhere and checking out old fucking shit.
Happened, and I'm looking into things. It's not making sense. None of it makes sense. We're told left versus right, but it is not that.
Hell yeah.
It is all of us.
You know what's up
them.
being going crazy. You know exactly. That was some of the best times of my motherfucking life. Just fucking kicking it through the woods and down old railroad tracks. Y'all remember they used to have the telephone poles up. They still fucking had the old telegraph wire up for years before that shit ever come down. I know y'all remember that shit. Right beside the railroad tracks. You go out there, there'd be fucking buildings out there from where they had the trains were from coal and shit. They did in neck of the woods. I'm sure they did out there in y'all's. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the fucking mountains and shit. There's all kinds of shit to explore. Hey, fishing down at the fucking Trussels. What? No better than that. Hanging out with your buddies. You done stole a pack of cigarettes or a can of dip. Y'all sitting down there acting like you fucking grown.
And they're upset that we're united, by the way. I saw this when they were attacking Megyn Kelly. I think I showed you yesterday. She said, well, my battle is against the left. And then they showed her a clip of me saying,
yeah,
that it's not left or right anymore.
Light
and said,
blue,
well, look,
yes,
Megyn, now you should attack Candace
blue,
because
white, and
she's
red.
allied with the left. Yep, I am allied with the left and the right. Any person that is awake and realizes that is slave.
Hey,
slop.
I want a whole one,
Okay.
Charlie. If you find a whole one, I'll buy that motherfucker. If you find one that's not broke the insulator, I will fucking buy that bitch.
They're never going to be able to shake the true power
But it's
structure.
gotta
if
be
we
a whole
keep
one.
shouting at one another and
I
not
don't want no
realizing
goddamn
that groups
electric fence.
control extremists on both sides. They are fostering, I think, those.
Hey, I tell you what, two people from our generation, they can fix just about any fucking thing too. Most men can actually fucking work on shit. I don't consider them a man really unless they can at least fix something.
the extremists on both sides intentionally. We'll get into
Hell
more
yeah,
of that
yeah, I
next
want
week.
one.
I said I was going to read your
Yeah,
comments,
about
and so I should probably do
63 in
that.
Clinton, Florida.
Cajun Pigne writes, we normal, everyday people, thank you and your team for all the hard work trying to make sense of Charlie's fateful event. I believe in the Almighty that all will come to light in Jesus' name. Amen. I believe
a
so
green
too.
one and
I
a
don't
clear
think they
one.
hide
If
it.
I can get
think
two
we're
of them, that'd
keeping
be
our feet
great.
to the fire. We are
I'll make
absorbing
a
all
little
of these bullets,
fucking,
figurative bullets,
bookend
where
thing out of
they're
them.
attacking us, attacking our character, psychological operation, paying influencers to say that's crazy. Don't even think about it.
Yeah,
Everything's
but
above
hey,
board. We can only
and in that sense though, there had to be shit where they fucking shit down them roofs in them hollers. There's got to be shit out there where they process wood and all kinds. There was all kinds of shit to explore. And go.
trust the feds. Tell us what happened. Yeah, right. We can't trust them at all. And I hope, having learned the origin story of the ADL and their relationship with the FBI, you realize that. Go read that book about Mary Fagan, written by.
Hey, and what about fucking up by Windrock and all that shit out there in Tennessee? All the nuclear waste that's fucking piped up there. What kind of shit is that? You would think you would want to go to the fucking mountains if something ever happened. Yeah, me either, going crazy. I hate even working in there.
By Mary Fagan, a descendant with her same
Problem
name.
is,
Bill Scott writes, I came to Christ after going down so many rabbit holes, ending at the same conclusion.
You know, a lot of people think that in order to conceal carry, you're going to need a tactical belt and a set of jeans. Well, I'm here to tell you.
Satan runs the world, but God wins in the end. Christ is king. So well said, Bill Scott. Camilla writes, homeschool your kids. 2 hours with you is greater than a day in a classroom. You can teach them how to learn. Thank God for my wife being determined to homeschool. Our 2 kids love it and have so much time to pursue their talent. It's worth it. Yeah. So I do the morning stuff.
Hell yeah.
For
Well,
homeschooling.
you know then,
and obviously I just started this week, and I can tell you, I feel more joyful. Like there is something they are taking away from us spiritually by taking our kids for 6 hours
I'm
a
gonna
day.
tell you right now, in the mountains they got them ATV parks and shit. That's some crazy ass shit.
Than saying, oh, then afterwards they have to do their activities and somehow also find time for homework. This whole thing is crazy and stupid. Like, what are we doing? We're just like literally handing our kids over to the state and we get no time with them. Like, this is so wrong. If you feel it and you need to hear that message today, you can do it. Okay. And you're gonna be happy once you do it. Maybe not everybody get a new iPhone 8 as soon as it drops. Maybe you're gonna have to cut expenses and
All right. She done talking. Well, y'all, I'm fixing to go fucking eat cookies with Granny Young and probably go ride the 4-wheeler. We'll holla. I appreciate y'all.